Today we're gonna be turning this into a PVC design. So first, you're gonna grab your design file from wherever, maybe Slack or Google. So first layer, you're gonna double click your layer 1 template. 50% is good. Then let's copy this so we can paste this to a newer layer. That way we can So this is the part where you create your PVC patch. So in Blender, this is a fresh document file. You gotta first delete everything. Press A to select all objects here. Select A or click and drag anywhere and press X. It's gonna ask you if you want to delete the object, if you want to delete all of them. Okay. So from here, we're gonna import the SVG that we just created a moment ago. So go to File on your top left, Import, and select Scalable Vector Graphics. Navigate the file that we needed here, here, here. And this is the SVG we created. From here, we need to select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. We need to know how much object there is. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there should be 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. Select everything. go to object, convert, mesh, because currently these are nerves, which are composed of lines, and we want mesh, not nerves. Select everything again, convert to mesh, and from here everything's a mesh. How do you know that? There's a lot of anchor points and lines, whereas the other one, they're just lines and a few anchor points. So from here, we're on our solid mode. To activate this, you need to hold Alt, no, not Alt, but Z, and go to our wireframe. Just to select our type objects. So hold Shift. I'm selecting multiple. Oh, wrong. Nope. Oh, sorry. Shift. All right. Then press Control J to merge them. And as you can see right now on our right panel, we got 3 instead of 6 because we combined 3. And from there we can extrude. Hold Z again and back to our solid view. And you press tab and we need to extrude it, right? So go here on our edit mode. We can specify what type of object we want this to be. So go to face mode, press A to select everything again, and then press E for extrude, and then move your cursor up. There we go. And then same here, extrude. Now we want to change the colors, right? So we're gonna color pick these. Just double click in your Illustrator, double click the palette here, copy, go back to Blender, go to here, this part here, called material, this circle with a cross in it, checkered. You need to remove this material. Click minus. It's gonna remove the material from a selected object. We want to remove these two and these, so they're bare like primer gray. Again, we want to copy these X and put them here. So create a new material, name this navy, and click the base color, and on the bottom you'll find a hexadecimal, paste it, right? Then go to our edit mode, select everything, and click assign. And from there, from your solid, you can go to material preview, and here you can see the material color is applied. This one needs to be white, so click a new material, name it white, base color, move it up, and these R and Co excuse me, needs to be this blue. So again, double click your palette, copy the hex code, and create a new material. Name this blue or teal blue. I don't know, whatever. Blue, base color, paste the hex, boom. There we go. I know this needs fine tuning. For example, it's too thick to be on a PVC. By the way, to change the preview mode, just on your keyboard, on your number pad, 1 is front view, 3 is side view, 7 is top view. We are on top view right now. So looking at side view, the types are sticking out and we want that leveled. So we want this to be sized by pressing S for size and then targeting our Z axis because it's extruding vertically, and then move your cursor until it levels up. If you just press S and then move your cursor, it's gonna expand, it's gonna resize everything. We don't want that, so we want to press S for size and then follow up with Z for our Z axis. There we go. That goes for everything, like every other axis like Y or X. Want to scale this on our X axis, just press S and then X. Or we want to change it to Y axis. But yeah, we want that Z axis. And mouse isn't working. There you go. Boom. Then we want this to be extruded. All right, so there's our PVC. We're still lacking our stitching or stitches. To decide where our stitching would be, it's either in this white stroke or inside. We can't do that. We can do that here in Blender, but it would take a lot of time. So like how we did here, we can create our stitching in Illustrator and import it in Blender. So first step is to create a circle that matches or almost matches the diameter of our gray circle, and then put in stroke, Shift X. In the stroke settings, you want to go on the circle cap or round cap. Corners gotta be round join, and align stroke doesn't matter. So we want dashed line, dashes on 4 and no, 4, 4, and our gaps on 2. That's it. And go to object, expand, object again, then expand. Make sure the fill is checked. And from here, we can delete everything except for this stitch line that we created. So, yep. And save as a copy or Control Shift S. Save as PVC stitching. Same settings as before. Don't ever touch this again. The more decimal places you input, the better the outcome is, but I find 7 to be the sweet spot. Save. And don't scale this up at this point, not yet, because we gotta apply this stitching first. So import scalable vector graphics, and here it is, PVC stitching. You can't see it, but it's underneath this patch. So go to our wireframe again, hold Z. There it is. You gotta move this up. So G and then Z axis to move this up. There we go. Hold this down a bit. G and Z. G is for you to move an object. You can't just click and drag. No, that doesn't work. This is not Illustrator. By the way, for you to move this way, you need to hold your scroll wheel, hold and drag. For you to pan, you need to hold your shift like this. Hold shift, go crazy. On our top view, let's make sure everything's perfect. Maybe we need to scale this down a bit. And like we did earlier, go to object, convert to mesh, edit, go tab, oops, yep, tab to edit, and then extrude. Select everything by pressing A, extrude with E. There we go. Move this down a bit. On our material panel, we need to remove this SVG material because it's black. We don't want that. And from there, go to our material preview. We need the stitching line to be the same color as this navy. So on this drop down button here, select navy. There we go. At this point, we can set up our camera and environment texture. Save this first, save everything before you make this next edits. See, remote co blend save. All right, from there we can tweak some settings in our render panel. Currently it's EV, but we want this in cycles, GPU compute, and experimental. Next is click the noise, then change the max samples to 1000, and this as well, 1000. Go to light path. No, not that. No, not this. This. Nope, not this. Light paths. Here, go to light paths, fast GI approximation. This way it renders faster later. And then go to output. We need this to a 616, compression to 0. RGBA for alpha. We want this with transparency. Go to in this folder here. We need to pick a location ahead of time. Recent here. Accept. Save it to where your Blender file is saved. And back here in render, there should be a film tab, and select transparent. Next, we need environment texture. It's here in the color option. Press this circle and select environment texture. This dictates how lighting and rendering behaves. Before selecting a file, we need to download our environment texture. So here, uh, search HDR heaven. Here, polyheaven. Select your environment. Uh, maybe studio. This one. Download this. This is free, so don't worry. Save this wherever you like. But for this example, it's here. Copy this. Go to my save document. You don't need to do this every time you create a new PVC project. You just gotta remember where you put it, because one 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 HDR file or environment texture file is enough for everything. You just gotta remember where you put it. And then from there we can hit open. Go to where we pasted that file here. Okay. And now we can set our camera. But first, we need to select this, this, and the stitching. And last, select the outer frame last. It's important for later. And then once they're selected, you gotta group them together so they all act as one unit. In Illustrator, you can like, or Photoshop, it's like linking layers. So press Control P and object. That way we can select everything. Okay. We need to rotate this, and rotate, press R on our x-axis, x, 90 degrees. That way it's facing front when we're on front view. That's one. Earlier it's top view, now we want it front. So move it on our y-axis. Again, move is by pressing G and then moving your cursor, and then press 1 on your numpad, and then hold Shift A and select camera. And there's our camera. Move it back a bit and top. Make sure that it faces our 3D patch. Okay. And we need to make sure that it's square. So go in here in our output or print icon, and set this to 1.5. Oh, that's too much. 5.15. And that makes a square frame. Selecting your camera, press 0, and from there we can scale it up like that. Hold Z and go to render. Let it see this part right here. Wait till it reaches 1000 because it's pre-rendering the patch. And let's go to our world or environment properties. We can reduce the strength of our world lighting. Right. Without an HDR or EXR file, look how it looks like. It's purple, doesn't look right. So, or if we change this to gamma, it looks bland, it doesn't look realistic. So you want it the way it is we set up earlier. There. So this is for our front. Uh, this is for our front com sheet use case, and we want a version for our mockup. So what we do is see this option here. Want this to rename as comp asset because this goes to our comp sheet. Then go to our drop down and we'll see we have a scene, which is this one. This is the one, but for our comp sheet we need to create one for our mockup, like I said. So click the copy icon here and select full copy. Okay, now we rename this as mockup asset. Boom. Don't forget to save your file. And then selecting the outer rim, rotate this to on RG axis, rotate this a bit. I rotated this around 22 degrees, negative 22 degrees, and then rotate this on my y axis. There we go. Maybe a bit on our x. There. Tweak it as best as you can, and always reference the hat's angle. That way you won't be adjusting it in Illustrator as much as you need. And from there we render. I think the shadow is too strong. Here. No, here. 1000. Oh, just one. I think the HDR I got here is whack. I think we can select other HDRs. Here. Download. HDR files really set the tone of your model. Let's try and change that. That's better. Save. And now we render. Go here, render image, not render animation, not render audio, but render image. And right now, we gotta wait until this reaches 1,000. And here is our final render. Well, not really. If you can zoom in, there are lines here and there. If you don't want that, if that doesn't bother you, you can go ahead and save this by pressing Alt S. Name this as angled PVC. If you want to remove these lines, lines. You want this smooth, you have to select everything and object, go to object and shade, select shade auto smooth, and voila, we got a smooth transition here. You can re-render it again, but it's up to you. And we can render our first scene right now, since we're done with the mock-up asset, the angled one. Want to render this again, hit render image, shortcut is F12. And here's our front view PVC. We're gonna go ahead and save this and go front. And that's it. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's save this. Close. Go to our Photoshop file, our trademark mockup. Click our, no, this should say PVC, like PVC. PVC. There we go. So we'll click our smart object. And let's grab our PVC angled here. Trim this. Maybe let's bump our shadows here. Hit save, close, and there it is. Maybe it's a bit tilted. And boom, there goes our mockup. The shadow needs improvement, but that's the whole gist of it. Anyway, if you got some questions, hit me in Slack. And I'll answer your questions for you. And that's it.